Hey everyone, Super Coco Bro here. Slay the Spire just released its latest beta patch, and the big news is that we are doing bi-weekly patching. So I wanted to go over all these details with you, and what I thought was the most important, and see what you guys think about it us also. So we're doing, they got the bestiary that's finally started. I checked it out. You can press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it will show the actions of what the caricature of the enemy will actually do, and that's pretty cool. And I would love to be able to see more with this. Obviously, it's under construction, like it literally does say right here. So hopefully, they can actually show us what the order of attacks are on it, so you can actually kind of study it and use that as a way to get better. So, biggest news is the Doormaker is out. Hallelujah. The Slay the Spire gods heard me. I hated the Doormaker. I just thought it was such a stupid boss. It is out. You no longer have to take those extra 1 to 4 to 5 to 6 defensive cards or attack cards so that you could actually beat that guy. Aeon Glass is in. I did go and check out Aeon Glass, and I'm going to say right away, it's definitely felt like it was easier than the Doormaker, like significantly easier. The new effect that Aeon Glass does have is when you play a certain amount of cards any turn, regardless, it kind of rolls over. It doesn't matter if it's 1 turn or 2 turns. You'll add a status card to your deck. And you can continue. I mean, if your deck is about playing a whole bunch of cards, you're going to add a whole bunch of statuses. I thought it was a little bit easy as far as the status. It was really just take 2 damage and you exhaust it when you play it for 1 cost. I thought that might have been a little bit too easy, but this is a beta patch. It is something that just came out. It is something that they will be working on, and they will get their feedback, and they will make it probably more difficult. So it was a pretty easy boss, and I'll put out some footage of that so people all know what I'm talking about here. And they nerfed the Silent Blade of Ink. Okay, fine. I can see that. It was really strong. 1 enhanced damage, fine. It's not make or break anything. The adding the weak is really what the Blade of Ink card is so good with, adding the shivs and have Blade of Ink. They did do a little bit of balancing for the Regent here, and they kind of reworked the Sage card. The Sword Sage card was the Sovereign Blade now does an additional attack. The old, so here, hits an additional time. Now it's same thing cost-wise, 2 to 1. Sovereign Blade gains replay. So that means like parry is a better synergy right with that, because parry that puts on 10 block for the Sovereign Blade. Now if you add a replay, it's going to do that 2 times, so it's actually an even better block card for you. They did nerf Bulwark from 13 damage down to, or 13 block down to 12. Just a little bit of a decrease. It was like an instant take card. Bulwark was so strong. I mean, it is still incredibly strong. Another card that I'm glad that they buffed, the Crescent Spear, was the 1 cost for energy and 1 cost for star, and it did increased damage based on how many star cards you have. It's a common. I am glad that they actually increased the base damage on it. It makes it more of a viable take for an early card that you need some damage just right away, because this the 8 coupled with the right away, if it's your first card that you take, you have Fallen Star, so it's a 1 cost that does 10 damage. That's not bad as an initial take. A nerfed Patter card. So Patter was the block and vigor. It was 9 block and 2 vigor, and now it's down from that to 8, and when you upgrade it, it goes to 10. Not bad. I'm okay with that. But now this one I love is buffing the royalties card. You want to gain more gold? Just upgrade it and you get to 40 gold every single time you play it. I mean, if you think about that card in context of what you can buy, that's 2 to 2.5 relics if you get it early on every single act that you can use it with. So amazing. Another thing that they did is they basically just made the Defect a way better character. I thought the Defect's power has decreased quite a lot because of what they've done for Focus. They've kind of made Focus a turn-based thing that you get it for the turn. And so now what they've done is they've actually changed it to, like, instead of being more turn-based, like, they degraded the amount of times that you're going to get defrag. It's a rare card. You're not going to see that very often. They upgraded the Defect to actually make a lot of its lightning builds actually way more intense and strong. The infused core relic was the one that when you picked it up, it gave you 3 lightning orbs. That was okay. It's just 9 damage that you get every single turn. That's not that good. Now what they did is they added an additional damage to lightning orbs persistent throughout the run. So that turns that 9 damage into 12 damage, which is quite a big increase, 33%. But what it also allows is when it evokes, it does more damage. Your ball lightning does more damage. Your zap does more damage. It's increasing the damage of the cards that you have too, which I really like that change. They buffed Hyper Beam because Hyper Beam really to me felt like, oh, you get this in Act 1, maybe you play it in a couple Act 2 fights, maybe one in Act 3, and then you don't ever really play it again. So I'm glad that they gave it a damage increase. It definitely needed it. Shatter got a massive upgrade. Evokes all of your orbs twice. Think about that. You have a dark orb. Oh, you know, dark orbs are kind of okay in this game. Well, now this evokes all of your dark orbs. If you got Consuming Shadow and you got Shatter, look at all the dark orb damage you're doing. You're doing evoking doubly all the time. So that to me is much better card now. That's like almost a pick every single time now. And now they did, and then look, you could think about it with a synergy with, hey, with the infused core, you've got all those lightning orbs to start. If you've got Shatter with it, well, now you're doing 9 damage for twice for every single one of those orbs. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54 damage with that one card you could do on turn 1. You could do 54 damage with that one card, just evoking the orbs. It also does damage to everybody, right? So that's a much, much better card. And the synergy with that is amazing. Tesla Coil got buffed. It's the 1-cost card that evoked all of the lightning orbs. Not evoked, triggered all the lightning orbs. Its damage did get decreased from 6 to 4 when it's upgraded, which fine. I don't really care about that, but this is what's the big kicker here is lightning triggers increased from once to twice. So now if you've got, like what they're doing here, they're trying to make lightning more viable with better cards here. You can now trigger a 0-cost card. If you have just 4 lightning orbs with this, you're doing 8 for each one of those orbs. 32 damage plus the 4, 36 damage for a 0-cost card with just 4 lightning orbs. So that is a much better card and really an essential upgrade if you're going to go with the Tesla Coil card. They buffed Uproar. I mean, Uproar is still one of those that you just don't take. It's just not that good. The Defect doesn't have the greatest attacks, and if you're really wanting Uproar to work, you needed to remove all your strikes for that to actually do something, so it can actually play a damage card that's better than just 6 more damage. Because basically what Uproar is when you play it, you play another attack from your draw pile. So that's okay. I'm glad they did it. It's still really one of those that I might not ever take, really. Now, a colorless card, buffed Gold Axe. So this is multiplayer. I don't really care. It's just... it deals equal to damage the number of the cards by all players, not just by the owner. I don't really care. Now, what they did do is that Doormaker is totally different to a new boss. They changed the Fossil Stalker, which is the guy that when he hits you, he gains strength. On multiplayer, it's now gains set amount of strength if it hits any player, rather than just every player, or each player hit. They changed the Haunted Ship, which was an advanced hallway fight in Act 1. It now applies 3 weak on turn 1 instead of applying it when it attacks, making it actually a harder fight, because really, that fight at the end of an act was actually felt like oh, awesome, this is going to be an easy fight. Great. So I'm glad that they changed it and made it a little bit harder there. They buffed the Soulfish, this just more damage on the Scream attack, so good, because the Soulfish was kind of easy. Now, there are some really big ancient changes here that I am so excited to get to look into and play. The rework the Tez's Pumpkin Candle relic. That was the one where when you gained 1 energy at the start of your turn, but then it extinguishes at the end of Act 3, at the start of Act 3. I never used it. Never once used it. Why would I want something that I can only have for this act? That just sucks. And when comparison to Ouroboros one, where the prismatic gem, where you gain an energy and you get a colorless card reward you can now get from different characters, like that to me is just way better. It's infinitely better than this gain 1 energy and then you lose it. So I'm glad they changed it, and they changed it to gain 1 energy at the start of your turn. It extinguishes after 5 combats. You can kindle it back at rest sites. That is so cool. It's like now the relic that says that you can do everything at a rest site, that works in a synergy with this. And you're going to want to choose this quite a lot because an extra energy in your deck is usually better than 1 upgrade. But you never know. You might need to heal or you might need to upgrade. But it just gives it more viability so that you can actually use it more than just 1 act. Now, the Niao's relics here are such an amazing addition here. I am so excited to try these out. Upon pickup, this is the kaleidoscope that's going to change its name, but upon pickup, gain 2 card rewards with cards from other characters. Like, are you kidding me? That's so awesome. The fact that you will be able to immediately be able to integrate other cards from other characters, that will totally change the synergies that you get. It's just such a great change. Such more viability, more to all different kinds of builds, and variety in which your choices are. It's more player choice, which is what you want. It's just a great change, an addition, really. It's not a change. The fishing rod. Every 3 normal combats, upgrade a random card in your deck. That might not sound so great, but also could sound great too at the same time. At first, you know, you fight 3 normal combats. You're at most, you're only going to really add 3 cards. So the likelihood it's going to upgrade a strike or a defend is pretty high to start. But as you get going down the line, in Act 2, you've added, say, 6 or 7 cards. Well, now you're more likely to get those cards upgraded. And as you get into Act 3, more cards are likely added to your deck there. Maybe you're at 25 cards and you removed 2 or 3 strikes. Well, now you're more likely to get those really good cards after a couple fights, which you're gonna fight normal fights. It just kind of happens. So I think it kind of changes the way you're gonna path. Like, you're gonna play differently if you pick this relic. So I'm kind of interested to try that out. Now, Silken Tress does something that I thought would never take place in this game. Silken Tress enchants all cards in the first card reward with Glam. Now, if you remember what Glam is, that's what one of the ancients in Act 3 can give you, that all the card rewards are Glam. Glam is replay 1. Even if you low roll and you're playing the Silent and you see a Slice, that 0 cost card that does 6 damage, that is still good. That is 12 damage for free. And if you upgrade it, it does even more. And if you get the miniature cannon, it does even more. So that actually the Silken Tress does something that I thought would never happen, is I might actually take a Slice. Really, that might actually happen with this. So I'm so excited to try out these new relics. They're so much better than what I thought was going to be added to this. And now they've made it to where the Seal of Gold, which is the pay gold to get the energy, it can be in the same pool as Pumpkin Candle. So basically what this kind of told me was that each one of the ancient options appear in one of the slots. So, like, Kaleidoscope may appear in just slot 1, and Fishing Rod in slot 2, and Silken Tress in slot 3, and it can never be slot 1 or slot 2. So that's an interesting thing I kind of learned about how they pool the relics together. And as far as something special now happens if you have multiple Lantern key cards, I did try it out already. To me, it really wasn't anything. It was, I could open both of the cages, but we'll see if it just didn't add correctly in, because I just didn't really care for, the dead card that I have 2 dead cards for the amount of time. It's like, it is a good thing to get to both of them, getting the history course and getting the 2 relics and the 2 potions. But at the same time, how strong do you have to be able to get those 2 things with 2 dead cards in your deck? So yeah, it's kind of one of those. We'll see what happens with that. They might change that or do more with it. But that is the patch that I thought. I love this patch. I love the changes that they did in this thing. But let me know what you think about these changes. Did you like these changes? Are there some that you think they need to go a little further? Or did you like some of these relics? Did you like that they changed the Doormaker out? Let me know down in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next video.